Okie dokie now, boys and girls. It's Sunday. Yes, it is. It's Sunday. And we do have a nice little time on Butch On Sports. I'm Simply Butch, and as always, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is a Sunday night here. We'll give you some sports news that, yes, indeed, you definitely can't get enough of. I'm not going to waste your time here. I'm going to get right to the goodies. My presidential clear my throat here. The Detroit Tigers will start that off with this weekend. That seemed like the only positive news that's coming out of the wet wash. And you, after you listen to this show here, you'll say, "Oh, he was right." Detroit Tigers, they completed their draft choices. It's passed on Thursday night. The club made 6 selections in a 2-day period, including selection by Arizona State. The first draft choice in the whole kit and caboodle, Spencer Torkelson, the first overall pick there. There were 6 selections made by the Tigers. They were position players. 5 of them of the picks were at collegiate ranks. They're going straight to the colleges, and that's a question I would love to ask the points to be. And when I get a chance, I will. As you know, Spencer Torkelson, a right-handed thrower and batter from Arizona State, was number 1. The number 2 draft choice is Dillon Dingler. He's a catcher. He's 21 years old. He's from Ohio State University. Very much so. The competitive balance round. This is where the extra goodie was in for the Detroit Tigers there. The 62 pick in the draft, Daniel Cabrera. He's from Louisiana State University. He's a left-handed left fielder and a left-handed thrower. That's including the batting. Trei Cruz, Rice University, was a draft pick for number 3. That's the 73rd pick overall. He is a shortstop. The 4th round pick was Gage Workman, the 102nd pick in the draft. He is a third baseman from, again, Arizona State, the real third baseman in the deal here. As Torkelson was announced as the third baseman, but actually he's a first baseman, have played third before, but hasn't been doing it lately here because this guy named Gage Workman, excuse me, Gage Workman been doing it all along. Nothing like correcting the rights here. In the 5th round, the last pick for the Detroit Tigers, Colton Keith, third baseman also from Biloxi High School in Mississippi. The only high school player that they selected in this particular there. Now, there will be a certain date where they will have what you call a free agency picking here because a lot of minor league and systems are not operating. And for them to go out there and go up there and pick a lot of kids that's going to be just neutral, knowing not what's going on. In the other conventional leagues and the minor leagues and whatnot, they're just totally not cool. So until all things are in place, this is what you have right now. The league is going to allow the team to flew through some free agents who were not drafted, and that's a limited amount. And from that point on, they will move on. The Big Ten Conference I talked about on the last show there, I released the spring academic all Big Ten teams, and it was on June the 10th. But it's I kind of want to single it down here, So I picked the University of Michigan, of the All-Americans who made it out of there. And they had a record 200 Michigan State student athletics earning recognition for their work in the classroom, breaking it down to the 200 students that Michigan athletes had in this particular classification of academics goodness. That's a 3.0 or higher average. 10 is from baseball, 5 from men's golf, 22 is from men lacrosse. 7 is from men's tennis. 25 from men's track and field. 6 from women's golf. 18 from women's lacrosse. 44 from rowing. 8 from softball. And rowing is the women, okay? 44 women in the University of Michigan. That's a nice team. 5 women from tennis, 40 women from track and field, and 10 from water polo. That's the breakdown with the All-American academic kids from the University of Michigan, which they had a total of 200 of the 2,200 and so students that were picked all over the Big Ten. If you notice, I never mentioned basketball, women's or men's. And I didn't mention football either. Think about it, you got nothing else to do here. Ohio State needed acknowledgement that was put into play for their players. Yes, this acknowledgement means that they're allowed now to come back for voluntary workouts at Ohio State University. However, when they do come back, when they do return for these voluntary workouts, they're at risk for catching COVID-19. The Columbia Dispatch gave this particular story. The players or the participants on the football team, therefore, obtained a waiver from the school. The school had the players sign through a Freedom of Information Act request. Players 18 and over signed the waiver themselves, but any incoming player needed their parents or guardians to sign this particular. And that means if they got COVID or whatever it may be, they wouldn't be held responsible. I mean, the school, that is. As you know, in the state of Michigan, those particular workouts have not really been stricken yet, but yes, you can. We're talking about high school as well as college can structure individual workouts or sessions. They prefer them to be outdoors, not indoors. They can do everything outdoors, under the nutshell, but indoors there's some limitations. You can't use the indoor swimming pool for training or whatever it may be. There's a lot in there, a lot of stuff in this CDC package that the state of Michigan, I would say, and our governor is using to get the rules and regulations. Now, they say it was a spike, but again, we'll see how things go. And as I get information, I'll pass it on to you as, for when the University of Michigan and Michigan State actually get the players and the coaches going forth there. Okay, the NBA this weekend sadly said that, we know when we're going to play. We know when we want to start. We know when we're going to let them into this particular bubble at Orlando for training camp for the participating 22 teams that has been invited there to do their thing. Of course, right now, it'll be only players only. Fans have to stay home. Family has to stay home. And it will be the addressment of the particular, if they allow certain members of the family to come, by maybe 2 or 3 weeks. That's the NBA's guesstimate on this particular, when they can let certain family members of their force, come into the arena to watch games and also live with their particular spouses or boyfriends, so, But some of the players are very reluctant of looking at the whole picture. Some of the players, and these are mainly the veteran players, are very reluctant indeed to go up there and say, hey, look, I'm going to go to Orlando. Kyrie Irving, he made some comments this weekend that were his comments. In a nice little way, he said he don't care if he go or not. If it was up to him, he wouldn't be going. Carmelo Anthony did a more intelligent approach of the question being asked of him. He said basically he has not gotten all the facts. The who, what, when, why, and how. And until he gets to see that, it's depending on that, is if he takes part in the particular. Now, if you haven't heard, there are players who are not going to want to take part in this. And they, by right now, the rules and regulations with our government is that they don't have to. And they're on the outline deal where maybe a player has asthma or want to outline things that are being watched, or just for the fact of the matter, family members at home. They have to make a certain itinerary of what's important and what's not. So you can see the point there. This is just something that right now the fans got to get used to. And, media is going to have to be very, very, not so much pumping it up kind of attitude, but, doing this in a manner that is very tasteful for everyone to receive there. That's just plain and simple. So the rumors that the television crews might be possibly experiencing with virtual fans, that might be a thing here. I don't know. I hope they don't do that. I really do. I hope Turner Broadcasting and ESPN or whoever's in charge of showing these games here don't mess it up to be a phony, baloney. With all this controversy going on, they don't need that. Just show the games as see fit in the spirit of the players who participating in it. And we will see spirit, and we'll know that spirit in certain individual players, if they're not showing it, it'll show on that court. And the fans won't be holding that up there. Of course, through the magic of the media also, there's always some speculations. And some of the media people have blurted that the 2021 season, you might expect no fans. Well, again, there is no virus protection from this right now, where we can get a shot and be protected or limit the disease in this particular. So again, common sense rules and all this good stuff here. It really do. Heard nothing from the Red Wings, boys and girls. Not this weekend. They know they're not in the playoffs. They're going to get ready for the draft, and so be it. Lions, again, they have announced that they're, although they can go and do their confines, and I'm quite sure public relations and some of the other particulars are, fitting and getting used to their particular separation in their particular buildings as they move in. Again, the players are taking the virtual reality approach of learning, doing it on Zoom and the other goodies, and webcasts is another one. It's a whole lot of them, mediums that they're using in order to enhance and get to be on the same page. So training camps ought to be a woo-woo, really. It ought to be really spicy. I would say that. With that saying here, I'm going to kind of end this particular one short and sweet here. This is a abbreviated version there. It's a true one. It's true indeed. Butch On Sports. Had a good time with you boys and girls. Hey, check out Butch On Sports on Facebook. Go to Butch On Sports on Facebook for the latest podcast of Butch On Sports. Period. Give me a like or something there. Do that. Do that for me. You can also get it on Podomatic, yes, Podomatic.com, or just do the simple thing. Type in SIMPLYBUTCHTOO.Podomatic.com. And you'll go straight to the page, boys and girls. Indeed, you will. You can also get it on the GameSportsShow.com and the GameSportsShow.podbean.com. And remember, on Monday nights, I'm doing a show called The Game. We'll be on this weekend here, boys and girls, with Scott Nason, E.J. Russell, and Dave McKay. Check that on out. It's normally posted around about 8:30 on those particular mediums that I just mentioned, the Game Sports Show and the GameSportsShow.com, GameSportsShow.podbean.com. Hopefully you have a good beginning of the week. Behave yourself. I watched wrestling, and the greatest wrestler of all time was basically two wrestlers beating each other up for somewhat almost an hour. Randy Orton won. Okay. They're even one-on-one. Got to be a clincher somewhere down the road or a piece here. And all the other wrestling matches you probably hear on Raw tomorrow. If not, I'll kind of maybe dust up on it on this upcoming Wednesday. Remember, we're on Wednesday this week. Hey, y'all behave yourself. I'm out of here.